Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. We are going to dive right in. Lots to cover today, actually. There's update on the tax credit, so we'll talk about that. There's news about Ford timeline that is very important to touch on. And then finally, we actually have a little bit of Tesla Cybertruck news. Not a little bit, it's actually a huge announcement they just made. So all of that and no more, just those three things. So let's get into it. So the Ford news, the Ford F-150 Lightning Forum, there was recently a publication about a webinar from Ford. There's two executives, James Morgan and Nathan Gowrie. Sorry, Nathan, if I'm butchering your name. Anyways, there was a webinar where they released a new timeline. So before I get into that new timeline, it's important to mention Inside EVs did reach out to Ford, and Ford is not confirming this timeline. However, were very vague in their answers from what it looked like. So I would take this with a grain of salt with the original statement. My dog. It still coincides with the original timeline, is what I was trying to say. So let's get into what that rumor was. So they suggested the timeline of order books opening is in January, as we've kind of been hearing. So again, Ford did not confirm that. My guess is that that is probably right, though. I mean, look, it's already December, and they said that pricing and books would open in fall. So fall's about out. I think we need to get these orders in soon. So we'll see about that. Again, my overall theory is that it won't open until we know for sure about this tax credit, whether it's passed or not. And that's likely why they have been pushed or scheduled or whatever you want to call it, why it's roughly set for January. So we'll see what happens there. Again, I have a little tax credit update, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the next date that was given to us is about actual production starting of this truck. And they gave us the date of June. And here's why that kind of sucks is, yes, they said that it was starting in spring, and June is technically the end of spring. So knowing that, like, yes, everything's still on track, that's probably why they confirmed with Inside EVs saying, hey, everything's still fine. But, you know, you kind of hope when you hear spring that it's the beginning of spring. So that kind of, you know, it's probably expected. I don't think it's shocking any of us, but, you know, we all had that like false hope of, hey, maybe it's coming a little bit sooner. And now the worst part of this news is actual delivery dates are, again, according to this rumor, was set for September. And Inside EVs did the math for me, which really put this into perspective, 10 months from now. That's crazy. And that's assuming you're one of the first people. So realistically, this truck is still a bit out. And here's what I like about hearing this is, well, we can kind of like rest a little bit. Like, I don't know about you guys, but the lack of information is kind of, you know, it just makes my brain go crazy because it could be anything. You just don't know. It could be delayed 2 years. It could be, you know, things could open tomorrow. So when you don't have those dates, even like a window of dates, your mind wanders. Mine does anyway. So even with these rumored dates, at least we have a new thing a new timeline to like latch our expectations onto. Knowing well that they're not concrete dates, of course, remember that. But I can realistically, you know, now train my brain in like this weird way of just like, now I have some rough dates. And if it's a little bit off from that, that's fine. But, you know, worst case scenario, it's those dates, and that's fine. You know, I'm taking it as good news overall. I'm just happy to have a date, even though, again, not confirmed, but it's a date. So before I get into the next two stories, I wanted to quick kind of tease a video I'm working on now is, well, here's another reason why I'm glad that it's kind of almost a year out before I might get my Lightning. It's because I am basically, I've been doing this decision of, you know, I'm going to get a car in between then, a car, not a truck. And I've been between the Model Y and a Mach-E, actually. In fact, I recently just tried a Mach-E, and I'm going to film a full review of that. I hope you guys enjoy that. So those of us who are like expecting to get into electric Ford, it's really cool to actually try out their current, you know, best EV of sorts. So I think that video will be really interesting. I'm excited to make that, so stick around for that one. You know what? That's all I'll say, because I'm weighing it against the Model Y and which one I'm going to end up with, because part of me wants to stick with Ford and then get into Ford again, and then part of me is like, well, Tesla Model Ys are pretty cool. I'll get into that in a separate video. So I hope you guys stick around for that one. Probably dropping, later this weekend or next week. So thank you. Okay. Tax credit news. There's been a surprising revelation, actually. So there was a recent analysis done. Again, I'll link the source in the description with a political, two people on the opposite side. So a Republican analyst and a Democratic analyst, and they both agreed that the Build Back Better is actually likely to pass. Again, read this article. I'm skimming through it for the video here, so make sure you read all the details. And here's a quote right from the article. I think the chances are very, very good that this bill will pass, and I wouldn't bet the mortgage on it, but I would predict that it's going to happen by this month. And that was from Seth Hanlon, a senior fellow at the Liberal Center of American Progress. And as it looks like, there might actually not be as many chops to the bill that we initially thought. However, one of the big things that it looks like might go, and we've kind of predicted this, is that extra $4,500 on the tax credit. Now, it's still speculation from these guys who did this, analysts, but the good news of this is, hey, let's pretend that that is gone already. And let's, roughly set our expectations to us, any sort of new EV tax credit. So it could be anywhere from $4,000-ish to $8,000-ish if we keep the US-made battery part of the thing. Now, all these details are laid out in my tax credit videos. Please go check that out if you want to know the details. But in short, it kind of is looking like we might be able to get this tax credit passed, meaning you can expect roughly, again, $4,000 to $8,000 off of the EV you buy. And what's great is that resets things. So whether you're getting a Tesla, whether you're getting a Ford, whether you're getting a Volkswagen, whether you're getting a Chevy Bolt, all those will be back on the table to get, again, $4,000 to $8,000 off. Now, there's a very small chance that this initial union credit stays on, which if it stays on, that'll be a miracle. I don't know how they'll do it, but that could mean up to $12,500 off of your new EV that's made in the US. So again, that's just the Chevy Bolt and basically the Lightning when it comes out. There will be more down the road, but that's all it's looking like right now. So take that as a sprinkle of good news if you are one of the people hoping that this tax credit passes. So the last bit of news today comes from Tesla. You've probably already heard it's all over, but the Cybertruck has an update for the first time in a long time, which is great. And it's actually a big update, and it's the fact that they are ditching the single motor version of the Cybertruck and adding a quad motor. This thing's going to rip. How cool will that be in 2026 when it finally comes out? Because let's be for real. No, in all seriousness, it does look like things are sparking again. There was another thing Elon said about how, people asked for a Cybertruck update, and his answer was, we'll definitely do an update the next meeting, but, it's been so hard with parts shortage and yada, yada, yada. Yes, we know, but again, you're acting whatever. I'm not going to get into Tesla delays because that's a video in itself, but the news here is, there's a new Cybertruck. How cool is that? Part of me actually does think this is a strategy. I have a theory, ready? I have a feeling that when the Cybertruck came out, it was a big swing. It was very much a concept. But then the popularity grew even outside of what they projected. Like, they could not have predicted to have I think 1.5 to 2 million. I think I even saw 3 million reservations by one article. That can't be real, but in the millions of reservations for the Cybertruck. They could not have predicted that. So I think that maybe they're trying to taper some expectations by ditching any hopes of a $40,000 Cybertruck and just say, that one doesn't exist anymore. That's why a couple weeks ago, they actually took the pricing off of their website. If you've tried to make a Cybertruck reservation, it actually just doesn't say the different models. And now they'll change the narrative by saying, no, we just added this way cooler one and nobody wanted that silly little single motor. What, you wanted that? Ew, no way. I think that opens up to what they really want to charge for this super popular thing. And you're going to see probably like a minimum $65,000 to 80 some to maybe even $100,000 Cybertruck, because you know people will pay that. Like, people are so excited. Like, imagine, like, you know how excited you probably are for the Ford Lightning. If you're a fan of my videos, I know you are because you've commented so, and I am too. So if you imagine us Ford Lightning buyers have to wait another, what? How long have these guys, how long have the Cybertruck people been waiting? Like 4 years or something? Imagine if they keep postponing. Well, I'd probably buy a new car by then. But these guys are like so excited for the Cybertruck that they'll probably pay the $80K or, you know, probably even $100 for this quad motor one. Who knows? All I know is I'm really excited to see what it looks like. And I want to see some on the road. I want to see what the pricing looks like. I want to start doing some videos on Cybertruck too, because these guys are neck and neck. Like, I think Ford, the only reason Ford came out with a $40,000 electric truck is because Elon announced the $40,000 Cybertruck. I almost guarantee that if it's not proven already. So that's why it's interesting. I'd love to see these trucks. I'd love to see these trucks neck and neck. Okay, and that's all I have. But I really hope you guys stick around and end up watching my review of the Mach-E. I found it really interesting. So especially because we can't try no one can drive the F-150 Lightning. This is the next best thing to get a feel of what it might be like. I know it's like a whole different beast, but you know, it is a Ford electric vehicle. So I'm excited to get that review done. And again, I'm actually considering buying one to hold me over. So I'll share more on that and my decision between that and the Model Y. We'll get into that. I hope you guys like that video coming up soon. Thank you for watching this one, though. You guys all rule so much. I really thank you guys for watching and subscribing. Like, I sincerely mean it when I say I'm appreciative that you guys watch these videos. It's opened up a whole new world for me of YouTube, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I don't know what else to say. Again, I'm the master of ending videos by just rambling and rambling and rambling. I'm the worst at it. If you guys knew how much I had to edit off I talk for maybe 5 minutes at the end just trying to find an ending. Like, it's so awkward. I hate it. I don't know what to do with my hands. I guess I could just end it, right? Yeah, let's do that. Bye.